individual to petition Parliament to consider any matter within its authority, including to enact, amend, or repeal any legislation. 2, that sextortion, the abuse of power to coerce individuals into providing sexual favors, has become a pressing issue in the country, causing immense harm to victims and eroding trust in public and private institutions. That the demand for sex in exchange of essential resources, services, and opportunities is both an infringement of human rights and a significant obstacle to achieving development goals predicated on gender equality, transparent and accountable governance. That our laws do not specifically recognize or define sextortion as a form of sexual exploitation, harassment, and corruption, thus hindering effective prosecution and victim protection. That although Section 37 of the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act 2018 addresses certain aspects related to sextortion, there remains a critical need to comprehensively address this issue within the broader legal context. That sextortion disproportionately affects vulnerable women and girls due to poverty, lack of education, political disenfranchisement, and various forms of disability, although men and boys are also susceptible. That the unchecked prevalence of sextortion not only inflicts immediate harm upon individuals, but also undermines efforts to empower women and ensure their full and equal participation in society, thus impeding sustainable development. That the issues in respect of which this petition is made are not pending before any court of law or other constitutional or legal bodies. Therefore, your humble petitioner prays that the National Assembly, through the Public Petitions Committee, 1, propose amendments to the Penal Code, Sexual Offences Act, and other relevant criminal laws to explicitly define sextortion as an offence, make clear provisions on penalties, support for victims, and for connected purposes. And 2, take any other
Thank you, Honorable Passaris. Before I give any comments on the petition, if you're willing to speak on this, kindly put the intervention. But before that, allow me to recognize in the Speaker's Gallery Africa Youth Leadership Forum from Starehe Constituency, Nairobi County. On your own behalf and of the House, we welcome you to observe the proceedings of the House.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, let me thank Honorable Passaris for this important petition. The matter she is raising is a matter of national interest, Honorable Speaker, and is a matter which cross-cuts almost in all spheres of life and most of the institutions also. So even as the petition committee looks at the matter, I would plead that they also look at the matter from both sides. Our boys are also suffering, and let's not look at it just like it's a female side which is suffering. Even the men are suffering. So let's also see fairness in looking at this matter. I support the petition.
Honorable Makali, are you confirming your phone you have some sextortion going on your phone? Honorable Beatrice Elachi, are you intending to speak on this? You have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And first of all, just to appreciate the young people, the leaders of university who are in the public forum, in the Speakers Forum, who have always stood, Madam Speaker. These are young people who pray every morning for our country, all those leaders who are there. And that is why they have visited us, but more importantly, just to see what we are doing. So I want to tell them, as leaders of today, because you are there and leading our universities, and with all the challenges we are facing, we want to pray that God will guide you as you you continue leading the other students to understand the challenges we are facing and how we can deal with them. And one of them is now what our leader of Nairobi has brought in, sex extortion. And Madam Speaker, you realize one will ask, what is that? In a simple way, it's the favors men ask when they're employing our girls, when they're in the tea farms in Kericho, when they're in the flower farms in Naivasha, when they're in Nairobi, waking up very early in the morning. And now I want to speak to Nairobi Water, because this is a matter that was brought by a lady, Madam Speaker, who in Kibra wakes up at around 2 a.m. to fetch water, since that is the time Nairobi Water decides water will be coming into the taps. And it's not just in Kibra. I remember, Madam Speaker, even when I used to live in Ungem, you will wake up in the wee hours to look for this water. And so for me, I want to tell them, this has now turned around. The guys, that's the caretakers who take care of these estates, what will they do, Madam Speaker? They will now start enticing and saying, oh, you see, you don't need to come and wait on this long line. I will ensure you have water, but in that return, then you have to give sex. And so we are saying, even in sports, Madam Speaker, we're being told by the Deputy Speaker, the ladies in sports are facing the worst, because those who turn around, Madam Speaker, to become their coaches, you realize you depend on the coach. He's the one training you, but he turns around and becomes both your trainer, and you must give in. If you don't, he ensures you don't even move forward in your sports. So, Madam Speaker, as we speak about this petition, we are saying today, we want to see now an amendment in the penal code, yes, but Madam Speaker, the best is to do an omnibus in all the acts that we have, the Employment Act, the Sports Act, any act, water and sanitation, where you find you have to use your way of womanhood to now get, you can imagine water in all the places, water. How it can be very sad when a woman wakes up and knows very well, I have to go and give in for me to get the only life thing that God gave in this earth. That life is water, and that's where we are, Madam Speaker. So as I finalize, Madam Speaker, it's not just a petition. It is for us to bring in the amendments, first in the penal code, but it has to go in all the acts once and for all, so that we stop this thing that I must give sex favors to a man to listen to me, to give me a nomination, to make me who I am. We say no to that, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. A maximum of 3 minutes. Member for Naivasha.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I rise to support this petition. Madam Speaker, it has been discussed in this House in the Kericho tea farms, where women, the vulnerable, get all sorts of challenges. It did not just start. Madam Speaker, even in the offices we have worked through, for a woman to get promotion, you have to give in for sex. This is common knowledge. Even in colleges, for you to get grades, if you don't give your body the teacher or the lecturers, you remain there. If you're firm, women who are firm in the character rise very slowly, or sometimes they never rise. This is an omission that came in the sexual offences bill. I think it should have been there. It was a serious omission. We have seen it, even our lady athletes. We have seen them even being killed by people who come in as their coaches, and then they are friends, and then eventually they are husbands, and just because of their money, that's why they get into this problem. So this is across, much as Dr. Makali says it happens to boys, it is more challenging in women to make it to any end. You have to give yourself to men for sex. So this has come in time because we have to keep on amending the laws as the country evolves, as the country moves on, because these are new things that are coming up. Maybe some of these things were never discussed. You'd never say why you never got a promotion. You'll never say why you didn't get your grade. You never say why we are not even selected into a certain team. So, Madam Speaker, I support the petition.
Thank you. Honorable Atandi.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity and to support the petition.